Hey guys, welcome to the review and results show for the January 2nd, 2023 edition of AEW Dark Elevation. My name's Dan, and considering this is probably your first time watching, I need to let you guys know that I will be reviewing all future AEW shows going forward. That's Dark Elevation, Dark, Dynamite, Rampage, all their pay-per-views. So if you missed the show and you want a quick recap, or you don't really care to watch the whole thing, you want a quick recap, you can check this out. And if you enjoy all things AEW and you just want to have a place to talk about it, you can do that right here. It's very welcoming, a very positive atmosphere here. So I will be doing these videos the day after. At least I will do my best to get them up around noon Eastern, the day after each and every show. So please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you see when exactly those videos go live, and also it helps other people to find my channel as well. So with that being said, let's get into the review. To kick things off, we had Tyra Russamme taking on Hikaru Shida. This is Shida's 16th match on Dark Elevation. I did not realize she's wrestled so many matches on this show. But in contrary to that, Tyra, this is her AEW debut, so that's always fun to see. Speaking of fun, there are a few fun spots in this match. The one that really sticks out to me is Tyra had Shida in a seated position in the middle of the ring. She basically launches herself off the rope, throws her butt into Shida's face, and Shida does the best sell. Kind of sells it like a stank face. It was so fun. But ultimately, Shida gets the win with the ultimate spot being that of her finisher, the katana. Always looks so good. Shida is so good. She is one of my favorites. Nice, quick, fun match to start things off here. Plus, it's Shida, so I'm always going to enjoy it. Next, we had the Varsity athletes, Tony Nese and Josh Woods with Smart Mark Sterling taking on Hunter Gray and Paul Titan of the Pillars of Destiny. And I can't say enough how much I love Smart Mark. He's such a great heel manager. Comes to the ring talking all sorts of trash to the fans, to the Pillars, and considering that the Pillars, one half of their team is actually from Colorado, they already had that hometown bias, which was pretty evident throughout the match. They were chanting for everything that they were doing. Nice back and forth tag team wrestling, but at the end of the day, Varsity athletes pick up the win. I absolutely love that release German suplex that Josh Woods does, especially when you get a little bit of assistance there from Tony Nese. Their finisher also looks pretty cool too. It's kind of like an angle slam into a neck breaker. It looks really good. Then we had another tag match with Manny Lemons and Atiba taking on Isiah, Kassidy, and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Party. Now, this is very surprising to hear, well, it was for me anyway, that this is the first time Isiah and Matt have tagged together. I could have sworn they maybe tagged together before. Maybe they did like a trios thing with Matt and Private Party. Either way, this was a lot of fun to see because you could tell with Isiah sort of dancing to the ring. The inner kid of him was just coming out because he was a huge Hardy Boys fan, and to come to the ring with Matt Hardy and the Hardy Boys theme playing in the background, that must have been just so cool. Anyway, this match was pretty decent. Lemons and Atiba got a little bit of offense there, but this was really the Hardy Party show. Matt Hardy did all of his hits. There was one spot where Isiah was trying to get the fans to chant shots every time he was punching a guy in the face in the corner. Instead, they chanted 1, 2, 3, 4. I know he'll probably get that eventually. He just needs to get that in front of more crowds. I mean, they got the Ocho over. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get this over. Anyway, the finishing sequence, you had Isiah Kassidy doing the his moonsault. One of the best moonsaults in the business. It looks so pretty, so clean. And then he goes right back into the ring to do his swanton. I'm sure it's probably a lot easier to take than Jeff Hardy's swanton, because Jeff Hardy's always tends to land flesh right on top of the person, as with Isiah. With everything he does, so crisp, so smooth, it sort of just slides across the body. Looks great. There was another thing, last thing to point out, very interesting story beat, because you have everything going on with the Firm and the Hardy Party. He tried to do the Eagle's Edge, which is Ethan Page's finisher. Didn't quite hit it, but it was very interesting to see. But we'll have more of that to come later on in this video. Up next, we had Marina Shafir taking on Lilith Grimm, and I gotta say, I popped so loud for Marina Shafir's entrance because she came out with Nyla Rose, and Nyla Rose comes to the ring wearing a shirt that says shirt, a jacket that says jacket on the sleeve, and pants that said pants on one of the leggings. It was so funny. I probably laughed a little bit more than I should have at that. There was an interesting story beat during the entrance. Apparently, there was no Vicky during this match. I don't know if that is a thing that's going on, if there's an internal feud going on there. I haven't really seen any Dark Elevation until this one, so if there's any sort of story beats that I may have missed, you guys are going to have to sort of help me fill in the gaps there. But this match was very MMA style from Marina Shafir. She had a gator roll, a lot of takedowns, and ultimately ended with was like an arm bar with like holding the leg thrown in there. There wasn't really too much to this match. Lilith didn't really get to do too much. It kind of was okay for what it was. After that, we had our first and only backstage segment of the show with Lexi Nair interviewing Isiah Kassidy and Matt Hardy coming off of their win. It was super fun, super funny actually, because Isiah Kassidy was saying how the win was basically orgasmic, and then he mowed really loud into Matt's ear. It was just so weird, but it was so funny at the same time. And then Matt Hardy chimes back in saying that the Hardy Party is coming for everything in 2023, which in comes Ethan Page, sort of reminding where they stand within the firm and how, you know, they basically own their contracts. They have to do what's in the contracts. Surprisingly, Matt was very agreeing of this. And as he was walking away, Isiah's like, wait, what's going on here? And then he sort of looks at him and he winks, kind of making it seem like there's going to be some sort of break off coming off soon. Maybe within the next coming weeks, they're going to figure out some sort of way to get out of those contracts and then eventually have their own feud with the firm. Next, we had another women's match with the ROH Women's World Champion Athena taking on Gypsy Mac, and I gotta say, Athena is absolutely thriving, and I mean thriving in this role of being a heel. She's really leaning in that aggressive side, throwing forearm after forearm, kick after kick. She's looking like an absolute badass. Gypsy got a little bit of offense in, but to quote her Twitter, her cuteness, aggression, it was not enough for Athena, as she got her to tap out with what I can only describe as a cross between a chicken wing and an octopus stretch. Of course, after the match, as she's always been doing, attacks Gypsy after the match, but she looked great doing it. It's hard for me to say anything bad about Athena because she's so good at what she does. You could say this was short but surprisingly effective, but it's not surprising because she's Athena and Athena's great. We then had our first trios match of the night with Ryan Nemeth and Chaos Project taking on the remaining members of Dark Order, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Evil Uno. And Peter Avalon came out with Chaos Project and Ryan Nemeth. And I gotta say, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get used to him having shorter hair, because I remember watching BTE and Brandon's reaction was my reaction. Maybe he can sell it because he is pretty Peter after all, but we'll have to wait and see if that look will ever grow on me. Anyway, this match was a lot of fun. There was a lot of dancing. Ryan Nemeth and Chaos Project sort of starting that off, and then when Dark Order got the upper hand, they were sort of imitating them with their own dance moves. And I gotta say, Evil Uno, I kind of feel like he's a sneaky good dancer. I feel like he's got some pretty good moves. Anyway, the match sort of continued on, and Ryan Nemeth and Chaos Project sort of used the numbers game to their advantage because they had also Angelico there with them, but they were no match for the hottest of hot tags. The hottest hot tag in the business, John Silver, comes out like a bat out of hell, takes out everybody, and then the Dark Order do their swinging crucifix slam for the win. It's very fun, very entertaining, probably my favorite match of the night. Then we had our fourth and final women's match on the show with Leva Bates taking on the House of Black's Julia Hart. And I gotta say, I popped so much for Leva Bates' entrance, because being that she's the librarian, she came out to the ring with a book. and the book happened to be a Demon Slayer manga, which I am a huge fan of. I'm a big Demon Slayer fan. She was wearing a robe that was very reminiscent of one of the characters within the show, which I'm sure, obviously that's got to be the connection there. And I was really surprised that the fans were super into both of the entrances. I think Julia Hart got a bit of a louder pop, but both women got a pretty good reaction to start off. And speaking of starting off with this match, Leva tried to have a bit of a peace offering, tried to first have her hand out, like, please shake my hand, please don't kill me. And then she showed her the Demon Slayer manga. Maybe she would like it, I don't know, maybe it could be right up her alley. I would offer the Demon Slayer manga if it meant, Julia not, beating me up. But fortunately for Leva, Julia was not having that at all, made pretty quick work of her, getting her to tap out to something that looks pretty close to the Brutalizer, but instead of her sort of laying on her back, she has her laying on her leg. It was easy and effective squash match for Julia. I think that both looked great. It was a fun match. Thumbs up for me. After that, we had Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal taking on Justin Andrews and Ryzin, and it was another very surprising fact that we found out. This is their tag debut, which is very weird considering this Wednesday they have a tag title match against the Acclaim. So I guess better late than never. Either way, this match was fine. It was okay for what it was. Justin Andrews and Ryzin got a bit of offense in, but ultimately this was another squash match to prepare themselves for what they have Wednesday against the Acclaim. Lastly, we had the main event with Hagane, Shinno, and the real Young Bucks, Rosario, Grillo, and Dean Alexander. Of course, you guys watch BTE, you'll understand that reference, taking on the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. This wasn't a bad match by any means, with the House of Black taking them down in pretty dominating fashion. Unfortunately, the headline from this match was dominating by a very negative result. Was Rosario Grillo broke his fibula during the match. Please do not go out of your way to watch that. Please don't send him clips. Please don't do him any of that. Instead, go show him some love. R Grillo TSF on Twitter. He's going to be out for, I think, 3 to 5 months. So in the meantime, show him all the love that you can. So overall, it wasn't a bad watch. Matches to go check out. Certainly, the Athena match, her heel work continues to get better and better. Smart Mark stuff with the Varsity athletes. Go check out that one. That's a lot of fun. The 6-man tag, again, my favorite match of the night, with the Dark Order taking on Ryan Nemeth and Chaos Project. And of course, the Hardy Party. If you enjoy anything Hardys, you're going to have an absolute blast watching that. So with that being said, I do hope that you enjoy this. Please let me know what you think about Dark Elevation down in the comment section below. As I said earlier, I do plan on reviewing all future AEW shows going forward. Dark Elevation, Dark, Dynamite, Rampage, all future AEW pay-per-views. So if you miss any show, or maybe you just want a quick recap, this place is for you. And if you enjoy all things AEW, this place is also for you. And lastly, please go over and follow all of my social medias over here. All Elite Dan on Twitter, Dan All Elite on Instagram. I try to live tweet whenever a Dynamite is on, Rampage, or any of their pay-per-views. Probably the easiest place to get in contact with me, so please go follow all those. And my Instagram, I basically just post pictures of me randomly, and if you enjoy dog pictures, there is a ton of them there for you. So that's gonna do it for me here. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Thank you for giving this video a chance, and thank you guys for being all elite.